Have you ever found yourself in a place where words don't work? Where you want to speak, but your voice just doesn't help? Many English learners know this feeling. You have the grammar, you know the vocabulary, but in real moments, when it matters, you freeze. That's why fluency is more than words. It's expression. It's rhythm. It's confidence. One of the best ways to improve your English is by learning through stories. Because stories train your mind to think in language, not just translate. If you want to grow your English with us, subscribe to RealSpeak, like this video, and tell us in the comments, when was the last time you communicated without saying a word? It started with a missed train. Samira had landed in a new city just before sunrise. She didn't speak the language. Her phone battery had died halfway through the flight. And she had no internet, no map, only the printed directions to her hostel and a metro card she bought from a machine she barely understood. The woman at the info desk had smiled kindly but shook her head when Samira asked for help in English. That was the moment she realized, today, she was on her own. She looked at the map on the wall, tried to match the symbols to the names on her paper, and pointed in what she hoped was the right direction. A young man passed by. She raised her eyebrows, showed him the paper, then pointed down the corridor. He nodded, gave her a thumbs up, and gestured for her to follow. She didn't speak. He didn't speak. But they understood each other. That was the first time. Later, in the metro, she tried to ask a woman which side of the platform her train would arrive on. She couldn't find the words. So she spread her arms like a train, tilted her head with a questioning look, then pointed left and right. The woman laughed softly, pointed to the right, and made a forward gesture with her palm. Second time. By the time she reached the right station, Samira had asked for directions from 4 different people, without saying anything. She pointed. She nodded. She mimed walking, sleeping, eating. She drew a tiny square in the air when she tried to ask about a phone charger. She made a circle over her head to represent Wi-Fi. People responded. Some smiled, some hesitated, but all of them tried. She realized something: communication isn't always about language. It's about intent. It's about effort. It's about presence. Around noon, she stopped at a cafe. The waiter didn't speak English, but when she pointed to a plate someone else was eating, he smiled and gave a thumbs up. When she tried to ask for water, she cupped her hands and pretended to drink. He brought her a full glass and said a word she didn't know, but it sounded happy. She nodded in thanks. After lunch, she sat on a bench by the river. A child dropped his toy near her. She picked it up, handed it back, and he gave her a small salute. No words. Just a moment. A connection. It felt peaceful. That night, back at the hostel, she finally charged her phone and connected to the internet. Her friends had messaged her dozens of times, worried. She replied, "I'm fine." Today was silent, but full. She paused. Then wrote, "I didn't speak a single word. But I communicated all day." That sentence stayed with her. Weeks later, when she returned home, she told her classmates in English class about it. They asked her how she managed. She smiled and said, "I used the only language I had, my body, my eyes, my presence." And surprisingly, it worked. That day taught her something important: you don't always need perfect English to be understood. What you need is courage. And sometimes, silence speaks best. In today's story, you were introduced to expressions like, without saying anything, cupped her hands, a small salute, and presence matters more than grammar. These are the kinds of natural phrases that help you connect, not just speak. At RealSpeak, we believe communication starts with feeling, not perfection. If this story taught you something, subscribe, like the video, and tell us in the comments, have you ever had a conversation without words? See you in the next video.